नमः।
3rd April 1781, 10 o'clock at night. The village of Chhapiya, near Ayodhya in North India, is aglow with light and happiness. Decorations are seen and harmonious music is heard all around the village. Everyone is in a joyous mood. Sacred shlokas are being chanted. The villagers are going to Dharmdev's house bearing gifts. All this is in celebration of the birth of Bhagwan Swaminarayan to Bhakti Mata. Father Dharmdev is donating food and clothes on this auspicious occasion. The village women are crowding around for a look at the newborn, because even a look at the divine infant is enough to give great joy. This is the birthplace that witnessed such joy and celebration in 1781. A traditional temple has been built here. Another temple adorns the courtyard of his home, which was witness to many of his playful miracles. The sun showers everyone with light as soon as it rises. In the same way, the infant began surprising everyone with his divinity very soon after his birth. Ramdayal was visiting his friend Dharmdev's home. While engrossed in discussion with Dharmdev, Ramdayal saw the infant get out of the cot all by himself to reach a toy. Seeing a 2.5-month-old infant get out of the cot so cleverly was very surprising for Ramdayal. He thought, this must be a divine incarnation. Otherwise, a 2.5-month-old infant cannot have such capability. There are meaningful Vedic rituals to be performed at different stages in life, which Dharmdev observed for the infant. As the auspicious day for the infant's naming ceremony, highly knowledgeable and respected Markandeya Muni examined the child's kundli and pronounced that this divine child should carry the name of God, Hari. He also named the child as Ghanshyam, which became his name for the next few years. He said that Ghanshyam would be known by many other names, including Hari Krishna. He foretold that this infant would be an ideal for all to follow and would lead many to their salvation. When Ghanshyam was 6 months old, Dharmdev and Bhakti Mata tested him using 3 items: a sword, a gold coin, and a book. In this test, if the child picks up the sword, he could grow up to be a king. On picking the coin, he could be a rich trader. And on picking the book, a scholar. Ghanshyam participated in this playful test laid out by his parents. He immediately picked up the book, indicating his love of learning and scripture. Little did his parents know the extent of his knowledge. Ghanshyam's playful divinity seemed to increase every day. Even a glimpse of his having food was so attractive that the family would gather at mealtime just to see him. Bhakti Mata would lovingly feed Ghanshyam every day, and he would lovingly accept her devotion. October 2, 1781. Ghanshyam was 6 months old. To lovingly adorn her infant with jewelry, Bhakti Mata wished to get his ears pierced for earrings. She called Amai, the village barber, and sat under the tamarind tree in the courtyard with Ghanshyam on her lap. But surprise of surprises! As soon as the barber tried to pierce his ears, Ghanshyam disappeared. He was on a high branch on the tamarind tree. How did this 6-month-old child get there instantly? Everyone was astounded. Elder brother Ram Pratap requested Ghanshyam to climb down. Ghanshyam then climbed down to get his ears pierced. But the incident made the family wonder about his divinity. Ghanshyam was having porridge. Bhakti Mata wished to serve him milk with the porridge. So she went to milk the cow Gomti, but could not get even a drop. She was ready to leave when Ghanshyam arrived with his milk bowl and placed it under Gomti's udders. Gomti began giving milk on seeing Ghanshyam, and the bowl was full immediately. Bhakti Devi was both pleased and happy to see this. She thought to herself, nature and animals are ready to serve my child. He must surely be divine. There is a shrine to mark the place of this incident. But a cause for celebration for the devoted can cause anger in the evil. Ghanshyam's divinity caused the demonic Kalidat to burn with jealousy. He was waiting for a chance to kill Ghanshyam. Ghanshyam was playing with friends under a mango tree. Kalidat used his powers to create a storm, to uproot the tree and crush Ghanshyam under it. Ghanshyam's friends were frightened and started running away. But Ghanshyam was calm and looked at Kalidat without fear. And Kalidat was caught in his own trap. A large branch from the tree cracked free and fell on Kalidat, crushing him. His destruction saved many who were being tormented by this demon. A memorial marks the place where Kalidat met his end. Ghanshyam's compassion was for all living creatures. The children were playing on the banks of Lake Mean. Ghanshyam's eyes fell on a fisherman who was catching fish to sell at the market. He was upset on seeing this unnecessary loss of life. His divine compassion caused the fish to jump to life back into the lake. Thinking of this as a trick, the fisherman angrily charged towards Ghanshyam. But in Ghanshyam's place, the fisherman suddenly saw Yamraj, the god of death. This glimpse of death frightened the fisherman immensely. Ghanshyam softly explained, "The fish have as much right to life as humans do. So you must never kill nor use violence." The fisherman was reformed and gave up his violent ways. This incident's location reminds us of the importance of non-violence. (1784 CE). When Ghanshyam was 3 years old, Dharmadev shifted with his family to Ayodhya. Ayodhya, a town of mandirs, which pleased Ghanshyam. Visiting the mandirs of Ram Ghat, Lakshman Ghat, Hanuman Gadi, and Kanak Bhuvan became his daily routine. He would first bathe in the Saryu river, then perform his prayers before dawn every morning. A beautiful temple now stands as a monument at the location of his residence in Ayodhya. Ghanshyam was visiting the Makhoda pilgrimage place. He climbed up the banyan tree here and began looking towards the west. His friends asked, "What are you looking at?" He replied, "Today, Akshar Brahma has taken birth in the west. Many faithful are waiting for salvation there." Hearing such talk from him, everyone would be reminded of his yogic powers. This banyan tree is popularly known as the Moksha people. Bark from that sacred tree is preserved in many mandirs. A memorial has been built at this place where the tree once stood. 31st March 1786. Ghanshyam began his studies on this day. Ayodhya's learned Pandit Hridayaram was his teacher. He began teaching Ghanshyam geography, astronomy, mathematics, astrology, and the study of the scriptures. Ghanshyam began understanding and learning the scriptures very sincerely and devotedly. His 5-year-old student's intelligence and grasp of philosophical concepts impressed Hridayaram immensely. Ghanshyam was attached to knowledge even as a child, and so he loved to hear the scriptures being read and explained. Hanuman Gadi in Ayodhya was a mandir that he visited often. Inside the Hanuman Gadi mandir, the respected Baba Mohan Das ji would read and explain the scriptures. Ghanshyam visited the mandir every day to listen to his discourses. Seeing this young child listening with such concentration was a wondrous sight for the rest of the audience. Everyone was surprised at his calmness and peaceful manner. The traditionally built Hanumangadi Mandir and its hall can be seen even today. Opposite Ghanshyam's home was a confectioner's shop. Ghanshyam once asked him for sweets for all his friends and offered a gold ring in exchange. How much can such kids eat? Surely much lesser than the ring's worth. With this greedy thought, he agreed to let them eat as much as they could. But they ate all the sweets in the shop. Dharmadev and Rampratap asked the confectioner, "Did Ghanshyam give you a ring?" The confectioner replied, "Yes, but in return he emptied my shop worth even more than the ring." And Ghanshyam said, "That is not true. Why don't you look inside the shop?" And inside the shop, all the sweets were as they had been earlier. The confectioner learned not to be too greedy. Subtly, even in minor incidents, Ghanshyam was able to inspire others to higher ethics. Ghanshyam was once in the village of Targaon, playing near the lake there. While climbing down a tree, his thigh was hurt by a protruding branch. The wound started bleeding profusely. Immediately, Ashwini Kumar, the doctor of the gods, appeared. He cleaned the wound, applied medicine on it, and then bandaged it. The other children just kept staring at these divine beings. March 7, 1789. Dharmadev's home was festively decorated. Prayers were being offered by Brahmins, singing Sanskrit mantras in front of the ritual yagna fire. This was the celebration of Ghanshyam's sacred thread ceremony. With his head shaved, a palash stick in one hand, a water gourd in the other, wearing a dhoti, and with his forehead adorned by a sandalwood tilak and auspicious red vermilion, the child was getting ready to embark on a journey of knowledge. As per tradition, he ran towards Kashi, the city of knowledge. This was a ritual, but the wise could sense that he was actually going to leave on a quest one day. His uncle Vashram's heartfelt plea on behalf of his parents held him back. Dharmadev celebrated this festival by offering gifts and by feeding everyone in the village. Ghanshyam had begun losing interest in worldly affairs and feeling more at home in temples. He would spend the afternoons at the small Chandreshwar Mahadev Shivalaya. He would meditate for hours in the calm environs of that temple. He preferred to rest in Gorakhasan, a posture known to strengthen celibacy. the memory of those moments lives on today at this Mahadev temple. (1791 CE). 10-year-old Ghanshyam accompanied his father to Kashi. Kashi is well known for its knowledge, its learned pandits, and its temples. After darshan at the ancient Kashi Vishwanath temple, Ghanshyam and Dharmdev stayed at Gomat on the Ganga's riverbanks. They would bathe at the nearby Gaughat every day. One day, a large debate was organized between the differing philosophical schools of Advait and Vishisht Advait. Dharmdev was appointed adjudicator for this debate and heard all the arguments by philosophers, with Ghanshyam by his side. With permission from Dharmdev and the scholars, Ghanshyam succinctly espoused the truth of Brahmavidya, as mentioned in the Vedas, Upanishads, and other scriptures. He specified that it is the aim of each pure soul to learn the purest virtues from Akshar Brahma, the abode of God. Learning these purest virtues will help one serve as a humble devotee and thus attain the highest spiritual state. This, he explained, is Brahmavidya. 8th June 1792. There was sadness today in the Pande household. Dharmdev's eldest son Ram Pratap could hardly contain his sorrow. The worry on the youngest, Icharam's face, heightened the gloomy atmosphere. Anxiety was writ on Suvasini Bhavi's face as well. Ghanshyam was sitting by the lamp, reading softly from the scriptures. Bhakti Mata had left her mortal body some time ago, and Dharmadev was now getting ready to leave his. He was telling his sons, "Know that Ghanshyam is not an ordinary human, but God Himself." Those were his last words. He left his mortal body at the age of 52. He was granted salvation because of his close association with God. One of Ghanshyam's objectives had been to help his parents on their path to salvation. As this was accomplished, it was now time to leave home to help many others. 29 June 1792. It had been raining throughout this monsoon night, but the small lamps in the courtyard were not extinguished. This was symbolic of the spiritual darkness outside and a small lamp going forth to brighten it. Braving the forbidding darkness, thunder, lightning, and storm. This was the moment Ghanshyam stepped out of his home, renouncing it forever, to help everyone he met, to adopt the whole world as his family. With the tilak on his forehead, hair tied in a knot, only a small cloth around his waist, a gourd in one hand, and the palash stick in the other. A kanti of tulsi beads, a shaligram around his neck, and a small summary of the scriptures compiled by him, wrapped in a cloth. This was no longer Ghanshyam, the playful child. Now, he was Nilkanth Varni, the teenage renunciant. Barefoot, bare body, with no company and no guide, the 11-year-old Nilkanth left with determination and purpose to begin his unique journey of redemption. Nilkanth Varni soon reached Ramghat on the Saryu's riverbank. This was the place from where he would leave Ayodhya forever. The river Saryu was in flood, its waters rushing dangerously and crashing onto its banks. Even an expert swimmer would be afraid to try swimming in such waters. But Nilkanth had now left fear behind and plunged into the cold and unforgiving waters with determination.